The mining industry plays a crucial role in Kyrgyzstan's economic development, contributing over $500 million to the country's GDP. The Kyrgyz Republic has significant deposits of coal, gold, silver, uranium, antimony, and non-ferrous metals, which are the key export commodities. Despite facing various challenges, the mining sector emerges as a powerhouse in Kyrgyzstan's economy, attracting foreign direct investment, contributing to infrastructure development and supporting economic growth. Beyond its role as one of the largest taxpayers, the mineral extraction and processing industry is the bedrock of the country's economic stability. Striking a balance between economic development and environmental responsibility remains a key focus of the Kyrgyz government, ensuring that the benefits of mining are maximized while minimizing its adverse effects. Welcome to the high-level Kyrgyzstan session on mining, energy and climate change, organized in cooperation with the Ministry of Natural Resources, Ecology and Technical Supervision of the Kyrgyz Republic.
Hello, good morning everyone. Lovely to see you all. My name's Nick Bowler. I'm the British Ambassador to Kyrgyzstan, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this panel and continue through this panel what's already been an extremely productive week for the Kyrgyz delegation visiting the UK, led by His Excellency the Prime Minister Akulbek Japarov. And Mr. Prime, it's been an honour to welcome you to the UK and look forward to continuing the rest of your visit over the rest of the week. We're also very lucky to have illustrious other panel members, including Bob Stewart MP, the chair of the All-Party Parliamentary Group for Kyrgyzstan, and Minister Melis Turganbayev, the Minister for Natural Resources, Ecology and Technical Supervision of the Kyrgyz Republic. I think the last thing I will say before handing over to the panel is that I'm delighted that this is happening in London. I think the UK is extremely well placed to help Kyrgyzstan develop the extractive sector, not least of all given what today provides as an example of the types of people, brilliant people we can bring together in one place. And we are very much looking forward to continuing our cooperation here in London, back in Bishkek, and wherever else we may be needed and can be on hand to help with the development of the sector. So I believe I will hand over now to Bob Stewart for the first intervention.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is indeed Bob Stewart. Most of my life I have been a soldier. I was a colonel once, and I've been a politician for 13 and a half years. But key to this conference is the fact that I chair what's called the All-Party Parliamentary Group for Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan. Now these are members of parliament who have an interest in those countries. I have been to Kyrgyzstan and I have been to Kazakhstan several times. I love the place. It's wonderful. I cannot believe what a fabulous place it is. It's like Shangri-La out there. Shangri-La, where no one grows old. They don't seem to grow old. Sadly, I have not been to Uzbekistan. I have not been to Mongolia. And I don't recall going to Armenia. But I actually have great pleasure in chairing these members of parliament, and I have great pleasure when I can manage to get a group of members of parliament and members of the House of Lords to go and visit the country, because these countries are the future.
You're right.
You have got the most incredible resources, you have got the most incredible education too coming up, and you have got the most incredible people. These are the future. We're the past. Except, ladies and gentlemen, we still actually have some influence in the world, and we still have London as a financial system. We still have London that actually provides expertise both in mining and in finance and in other things. And I think we have a role to play. Although we may be the past and you may be the future, let's work together to see how well we can make the future. I am delighted to be here for the 11th MINEX Eurasian Mining Conference. I've got to be careful, it's a long title. And it's great to be with my friend, the ambassador, who very kindly came to see me before he took up his post. And I have to say, he's doing a great job so far in Bishkek. Can I thank Simmons & Simmons as well for allowing this event to take place and sponsoring it? I don't quite know what a gold sponsor means, but presumably it means paying more money than a silver sponsor, or just a sponsor. But thank you so much to the people that have sponsored this conference, which is terribly important, because most of all, it's not what you hear from the rostrum, it's who you meet when you're outside having a coffee, or in my case, a whiskey. But I didn't see any whiskies. Simmons & Simmons, you've missed a trick there. So, can I thank Mr. Polyakov for, where is he? Yeah. He's, where? Thank you so much for organising this. Thank you for asking me to come, me a little backbencher in the mother of all parliaments, so-called. We've been a parliament for 800 years and we still haven't got it right. I particularly wish to salute the Prime Minister of Kyrgyzstan. First time I've met Mr. Japarov. I hope I meet him again, actually this afternoon, in Parliament. I may also thank the attendance of other ministers, perhaps ambassadors from Uzbekistan, Armenia, Kazakhstan and Mongolia who are present. Me, I think I've spoken long enough. I think this conference is a great idea. I wish everyone that takes part in it lots of luck and lots of business. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we'll have a short video from the government of the
Kyrgyzstan, covering approximately 200,000 square kilometers, is a mountainous country with diverse ecosystems and rich mineral resources. Its geological features, including mountain ranges, contribute to biological diversity and mineral-rich waters with healing properties. The mining industry in Kyrgyzstan plays a pivotal role in its economic and industrial development, driven by a well-directed governmental policy to attract investments. Companies awarded the right to develop subsoil resources through open tenders and auctions contribute significantly to the country's economy. Despite challenges, the mining sector stands out as a major taxpayer and a future foundation for Kyrgyzstan's economy. Currently, 14 large mining companies operate in the country, employing local populations and enhancing regional social infrastructure. The Kumtor gold mine, initiated in 1993 with Canadian investors, began gold production in 1997. It currently employs over 4,000 individuals. Despite challenges, all facets of Kumtor's production continue to operate at full capacity, making significant contributions to Kyrgyzstan's economic landscape. The Taldi Bulak Levoberezhny mine is situated on the northern slope of the Tian Shan Mountains, is currently under development by Altin Ken, a joint venture with Chinese partners. The gold reserves in this deposit are estimated to be around 77 tons. As of mid-2023, 11,149 kilon of gold has been extracted, contributing 10,865 million soms to the state treasury through taxes and other deductions. The joint company Altin Ken is structured with 60% ownership by the Chinese side and 40% by Kyrgyzaltin, with a total Chinese investment of $259 million. The Bozumchak deposit situated in the northeast of Kyrgyzstan within the Alabuka district of the Jalalabad region, holds approximately 15 tons of gold reserves. Between 2021 and July 2023, a total of 3398 kilos of gold was extracted from this deposit. Additionally, during the same period, tax payments and other contributions totaling 4,206 million soms were remitted to the state treasury. The Tarakan and Terek gold deposits are situated on the southern slope of the Chatkal Range. As of 2018, the estimated gold reserves in these deposits amounted to approximately 38 tons. The gold extraction at these mine sites is carried out by the joint venture Eti Bakir Tereksai, with 75% ownership held by the Turkish joint stock company Eti Bakir and 25% belonging to Kyrgyzaltyn. Since the beginning of 2017, a total of $230 million has been spent on the complete modernization of the Tereksai Rudnik factory and the construction of a universal gold mining plant. From 2021 to the first half of 2023, 2,712 kilograms of gold was extracted from the deposit, contributing a total of 3,273 million som to the state treasury in taxes and other payments. The gold deposit of Jerui is located in the Talas region, with confirmed gold reserves of 105 tons. The license for mining was granted to Alliance Alteen, which invested $600 million in the project. From 2021 to the first half of 2023, Alliance Alteen extracted a total of 10,338 kilos of gold, contributing 8,965 million som to the state treasury in taxes and other payments. Kyrgyzstan boasts a treasure trove of mineral resources that rightfully stands as unparalleled wealth for the nation. The strategic and sustained development of these resources not only opens doors to economic growth, but also plays a pivotal role in fortifying the mining industry, a cornerstone of Kyrgyzstan's economy.
Now, my pleasure to introduce the Prime Minister of the Kyrgyz Republic, Ms. Akilbek Chaparov.
Dear Mr. Bob Stewart, dear participants of the conference, heads of the delegations, ladies and gentlemen, let me cordially welcome you all to the 11th MINEX Eurasia 2023 conference on mining investments in Central Asia, the Caucasus and Mongolia. This conference has long turned into an effective platform for the exchange of experience in addressing issues related to the development of the mining industry, improving mining processes, minimizing the impact of the mining and metallurgical complex on the environment, and strengthening ties with local communities. It is a great honor for me to take part in this important event as the head of the delegation of the Kyrgyz Republic, which arrived in London, the global financial center. Today, our presentations will be devoted to mining industry potential in Kyrgyzstan. I would like to highlight the main aspects of Kyrgyzstan's national policy in the field of subsoil use. After me, our Minister of Natural Resources, Ecology and Technical Supervision, Mr. Melis Turgunbayev, will speak in more detail. Allow me to express my deep gratitude for the warm greeting from Mr. Bob Stewart, the chairman of the Kyrgyzstan Inter-Parliamentary Committee of the British Parliament. We know firsthand what parliamentary governance is. I have been elected to the Parliament of our Republic 3 times. But after Mr. Bob Stewart's words about the 800-year experience of the British Parliament, and the fact that our British colleagues are still learning, we will not dwell much on our parliamentary experience in Kyrgyzstan. Dear colleagues, we have specially invited mining companies operating in Kyrgyzstan to the conference. Our amazing country lies in Central Asia, where three cultures have greatly contributed to the development of Kyrgyzstan's nation: Russia, Turk nations, and China. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Russia had the most powerful influence on our development. In the 20th century, it was the Soviet Union. For the last 30 years since the Declaration of Independence, we have been closely cooperating with the Turkic peoples, Islam, and the millennia-old culture of China. After the Declaration of Independence, we were enthusiastic about building democracy and developing parliamentary and presidential forms of government. In the last 30 years, we fought for human rights, animal rights, for the environment, but regretfully did not pay enough attention to the economy. We can probably compete with Italy in this area. In 30 years, we have changed 32 prime ministers. In 2021, after the respected Sadir Japarov came to power, we changed the structure of public administration and made changes to the constitution. The head of state of the Kyrgyz Republic became the head of the executive branch of power. Over the past 2.5 years, we have been intensively engaged in economic development. We were able to double the country's GDP. Over the past 2 years, we have increased per capita income by an average of $700. The country's budget has tripled. We reduced the budget deficit to zero and defended our country's budget for next year in the first reading in Parliament before coming to London. We are entering 2024 with a surplus of more than 19.5 billion soms. This is about $220 million. We hope that further sustainable economic growth will continue in this regard. According to a recent report by the International Monetary Fund, Kyrgyzstan's external debt has fallen from 59% of GDP to 43%. Fiscal policy is carried out quite competently. Macroeconomic, monetary, and fiscal policies are aligned. Professionals work in this field. Many of them came to London. They can answer any questions you may have. Kyrgyzstan has one of the most liberal tax law systems in Central Asia. We do not have any restrictions on currency, both on import and export after payment of the relevant taxes. But the most important thing is that even though we have been building democracy with passion for 30 years and have gone through 3 revolutions in our understanding, that is, 3 times there has been a change of power and a change in the direction of state administration. Not a single mining enterprise, not a single bank stopped for a minute, not for a second. No one took anything from anyone. Centera has been working at Kumtor for quite a long time. For 20 years, more than 400 tons of gold have been exported from the country. At the same time, the dividends paid amounted to only $74 million. But despite this, we said goodbye to them in a human way, if I may say so, as one says goodbye in families, without swearing, without spitting at each other. We allowed Centera to save face, and for us to return the Kumtor deposit, which has been successfully operating for more than 2 years. We have gone through 2 arbitrations in the United States of America and 3 arbitrations in Europe. We ended up with peace talks, and today we are working further. I think that our investors will talk about the investment climate. I see representatives of companies from Turkey, China, Kazakhstan, and other regions that are successfully working with us and developing relations with our civilian population. The main requirement for all our subsoil users is, of course, ecology and compliance with international standards for environmental protection. Now, I would like to say a few words about our system of public administration. Our head of state is the president. He is not only the head of the executive branch. As of today, I have combined two positions. I am the chairman of the Cabinet of Ministers and the head of the presidential administration. We have brought all bureaucratic processes to a minimum and changed all regulatory legal acts. Within a week, we can adopt a government resolution, adopt a law within 3 weeks. We are also working quite well with our parliament, where the majority supports the reforms that we are currently implementing. Just before leaving for London, we signed a contract with a consortium of Chinese investors for 1 gigawatt of solar electricity. Soon, we will begin the construction of the Kambar Atta 1, one of the largest hydroelectric power plants in Central Asia, with a capacity of 1,860,000,000 megawatts per year. The construction of the China-Kyrgyzstan-Uzbekistan railway begins soon. Financial sources for construction have already been identified for next year. As I have already said, our country, with a population of 7 million, has significant potential for reserves of many types of mineral raw materials. Several generations of geologists in our country have devoted their lives to geological prospecting. Thanks to their painstaking work over many decades, we have more than 15,000 deposits and ore occurrences of various types of minerals. Of these, about 500 minefields have undergone detailed geological exploration. The state balance accounts for reserves of mine sites rich with 51 types of minerals. These are gold, silver, copper, tungsten, molybdenum, rare earth metals, antimony, tin, iron ore, lead, and other deposits. The mining industry in our country is developing dynamically and consistently. It accounts for more than 6% of total GDP and more than 41% of export revenues. Of course, mineral resources are of paramount importance for the economy of Kyrgyzstan, contributing to the multiplicative development of not only mining, but also other industries, having a positive impact on the socio-economic development of the country's regions. In general, today, the largest investors in the mining industry of Kyrgyzstan are the United Kingdom, Turkey, China, Russia, and Kazakhstan. According to expert estimates, the mining industry of Kyrgyzstan can annually generate income exceeding $1 billion and become the locomotive of our entire economy. Dear colleagues, in the context of the fight against the consequences of climate change and the depletion of the planet's resources, there is a visible need to develop renewable energy and a green economy for the energy transition. Along with renewable energy sources, access to critical minerals is also required. These mineral resources include a vast group of elements such as lithium, cobalt, manganese, gallium, indium, graphite, zinc, chromium, and others. In this context, in March of this year, the European Commission adopted the Act on Critical Raw Materials, which included 34 minerals. Of these, 17 elements are classified as strategic raw materials. I would like to note that all 17 elements are present in the subsoil of our country, of which 10 elements are present in significant volumes. For example, I can say that the projected reserves of titano-magnetite at only one deposit are about 20 million tons, and the reserves of rare earth metals, which include 21 elements, are more than 60,000 tons. At the same time, the highly dense content of light, medium, and heavy rare earth metals makes up half of the deposit. The subsoil of Kyrgyzstan is also rich in gold, coal, and iron. More than 5 billion tons of ore are located in just one of the deposits, containing iron, titanium, as well as such rare earth metals as europium, zirconium, cesium, and a group of lantoids. As I said, the country is creating the necessary comfortable conditions for investors who want to invest their capital in the development of mineral deposits. Kyrgyzstan's parliament gives us the opportunity, together with investors, to conclude agreements before receiving the first metal, to exempt from all types of taxes except for local taxes, income taxes, and payments to pension funds. Investment agreements with foreign partners are being developed on favourable terms, providing for various benefits and stabilisation regimes. Of course, in the history of long-term partnerships, this area is not without controversy. I've already said that we resolve disputes in arbitration and out of court. A recent example is Santerra. I think this will serve as proof for you that the government knows how to fulfill the obligations that it makes to its investors. For more information on this topic, as I have already said, Minister Mr. Melis Turgumbayev will report. Dear friends, in conclusion, I invite all participants and investors to visit the Kyrgyz Republic. We agree with the MINEX Forum organisers that next year we will hold a large investment meeting and panel discussions in Kyrgyzstan. Together, we will discuss investment opportunities and the country's mineral resource potential. I am personally ready to meet with you in Bishkek. I would like to emphasize that the Cabinet of Ministers is ready to provide all possible assistance to your initiatives, to create comfortable and safe conditions for your investment activities in our country. It is gratifying to note that during our visit, a document on cooperation between the Geological Survey of Kyrgyzstan and the Geological Survey of Great Britain will be signed, which will give impetus to the intensification of interdepartmental cooperation between the two countries. I would like to wish success and fruitful work to the participants of the conference. I am sure that the discussions at today's event will be very useful and will bring new ideas and proposals to address topical issues of concern to the mining industry. We say, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. We would like to take this step in the right direction. We need advice. We need new technologies. We need personnel. We need partners who would like to earn an honest profit together with us. Therefore, welcome to Kyrgyzstan. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister. And please join me in welcoming Minister Melis Turgumbayev.
Thank you, dear Akundek Usamekovic, dear Bob, dear organizers and excellencies. Indeed, it's a great honor to be here, and we, the Kyrgyz delegation, for the first time is participating at this MINEX conference, and we are proud of that. And I would like to thank our organizers for inviting and giving this opportunity for us. And I was thinking how to name the slide, and I named the It's like investing in a unique country with great people, and just Bob confirmed that Kyrgyzstan is a indeed unique country, which is located in Central Asia, in the center of Eurasian continent, and borders with China, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan. Population is 7 million people. The capital city is Bishkek, and the national currency is Son. Kyrgyzstan has a significant potential in many areas in the economic sector because we are at the heart of the Great Silk Road and benefiting from our geographical location. Nowadays, Kyrgyzstan is the most politically stable and the fastest growing country in the region. Since 2020, the growth was more than 60%, and this year we are estimating to have the growth rate at least 4%. GDP, as you see here, last year was 10.9 billion US dollars, and this year it will be more than 11.3 billion. 6% of that GDP comes from the mining industry, and that is 20% of taxes. More than 10 million tourists visited Kyrgyzstan last year, which is 5 times of previous year. According to world rankings, we have B2 ranking from Moody's, and we are in the 80th position in doing business. We have the cheapest electricity in the region because 2/3 of all water resources are located in Kyrgyzstan, and as of now we are using only 10% of our capacity, and still 90% to be developed. And Som is the most stable currency. One British pound is 110 soms. Last year we had 1.2 billion foreign direct investments, which is increased 20%. As our Prime Minister said, low taxation regime in Kyrgyzstan, for example, is the VAT is only 12%, and income tax is 10%. The biggest trading partner of Kyrgyzstan is China. Last year, we had $4.1 billion, and the second biggest trading partner is Russia, and then Kazakhstan. We cooperate with most major international organizations. We are a member of LBMA, World Trade Organization, Eurasian Economic Union, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and other organizations. Being a member country of the Eurasian Economic Union opens a huge, more than 180 million people market with 0% customs tariff. We have signed 28 agreements on avoidance of double taxation and 32 agreements on mutual support and mutual protection of investments. Kyrgyzstan signed an agreement on avoidance of double taxation with the United Kingdom in 2017. As we mentioned earlier, Kyrgyzstan has a huge amount of natural resources, and most of them have not yet been developed. The mining industry is one of the most important components of our economy. We produce more than 300,000 tons of crude oil each year. We have 847,000 tons of proven reserves of gold, 12% of global silicon reserve, and more than 23,000 tons of uranium, which are not yet developed. We have more than half coal reserves of Central Asia. In Kyrgyzstan, 1.3 billion tons, which makes Kyrgyzstan first in Central Asia. These are 7 regions in Kyrgyzstan, and there are big amounts of resources of natural resources in each of those regions. And each region is unique. For example, Chui Valley, we have unique rare earth elements deposits located in this Chui region, and these 3 big deposits, Kutisai, Kalisai, and Kutisai too. There are beryllium, 11.7 thousand tons, beryllium in Kutisai, as you see here, 51.6 tons, silver, bismuth, lead, all these rare earth elements located in our Chui Valley. And as about golds mostly located in Istiklal and in Naryn districts, and in Jalabad districts and Naryn, there we have iron deposits more than in one place, more than 5 billion proved tons of iron. And more than 100 mining companies are engaged in mining and processing of minerals in Kyrgyzstan. There are also big international global companies operating in Kyrgyzstan. I would like to mention a number of large domestic and foreign companies operating in Kyrgyzstan who are sitting all here. We invited all our international partners also and local companies and who are sitting here, and they're gonna make a presentation about their companies today afternoon. Kumtor Gold Company is a flagship of our economy. It has proved gold reserves amounted to 381 tons. 381 tons, just proved gold reserves. This is the largest our industrial gold mining company. Kyrgyzstan is a fully state-owned national gold mining company which owns Kumtor Gold Company. And other than that, it has several licenses and shares of other international projects. We are so much proud that world-leading global gold mining companies have been successfully operating in Kyrgyzstan. In previous years, global mining companies like Copper Gold, Goldfields, Polus, Santos, etc. had worked in Kyrgyzstan, and now still more global companies are willing to come to Kyrgyzstan to invest in mining sectors. Charat Gold Holdings Limited is the largest UK investor to Kyrgyzstan, who invested already 170 million US dollars, and it has now reserves, gold reserves more than 100 tons. Lingbao Gold Company Limited is a Chinese state-owned corporation which is operating since 2008. And Allianz is a Russian big company which has been operating since 2015 with 93 tons of gold reserves left. Cengiz Holding is also a Turkish big company which invested and came to Kyrgyzstan and operating since 2016, which has 33 tons of gold. We have made our own research based on 14 big gold companies operating in Kyrgyzstan, and according to our research, the return on investment was 20-25%, and the payback period was from 3 to 5 years. This is a very good investment and very good place to invest. And Kaz Minerals, of course, is one of the leading copper producers in the world, registered here in UK, United Kingdom. We have also well-known international laboratories and testing companies operating in Kyrgyzstan. They are located in Kyrgyzstan, but serving, working for whole Central Asia. We are very much proud that we have such companies like Stewart SA and Environmental Laboratories, SGS, and Alfred Light companies. As you see here in the chart, if in 2012 the gold production was only 15 tons a year, now we doubled gold and coal production and increased 4 times silver production. Mining sector plays a huge role for our economy, and as it was mentioned earlier, according to our estimations, the mining industry of Kyrgyzstan can generate more than $1 billion US dollars annually in the nearest future. After gold, for us, the most important area to develop is rare earth elements. We have enough reserves of rare earth elements in 11 deposits, and we are planning to build new processing plant with an annual capacity of up to 350,000 tons of ore, which produces a rare earth metal concentrate with an average content of 6.5% and separates lead and molybdenum. You have just newly created Kyrgyz Geological Service, like British Geological Service, the government agency under the Ministry of Natural Resources, Ecology and Technical Supervision of the Kyrgyz Republic, with broad functions and duties to increase effectiveness of the government policy making in the mining sector. At the same time, we have been successfully partnering with Finland Geological Service, and as our Prime Minister told earlier, we will be signing an agreement of cooperation today with British Geological Survey. Next year, the government is allocating 1 billion soms. This is for the first time for geological sector, which is estimated $12 million to the geology, for the development of the geological industry, and to increase our deposits, development, and for exploration, new deposits. Kyrgyzstan plans to introduce a resourcing reporting in accordance with the JOR code this year in May. During the MINEX Kazakhstan, we have signed the agreement with the Kyrgyzstan to implement this JOR code, and starting from next year, hopefully we will start using this JOR reporting system. We're also working on adopting new mining code to attract and protect investors. And the mining code should strengthen control over illegal mining and licenses, ensure rational use of mineral resources, industrial and environmental safety, and help implement international environmental safety standards. To simplify the issuance of conclusions and permits, a single window, say a one-stop shop, has been created in the ministry, which daily monitors the procedure for reviewing technical projects and licensing issues of subsoil use, which allows companies to receive the necessary documents in a timely manner. To encourage subsoil users to geological exploration of the subsoil, the license retention fee rates were reduced by 10 times compared to previous years. That's it from my side, and we would like to see you all investors in Kyrgyzstan, investing to Kyrgyzstan, and we are ready to work and to cooperate with all of you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Minister, and finally thank you to all of our panelists once again for their interventions. Thank you.